need, I got what you need. Hello, 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 white America, assassinate my character.
Oh, dang! Davis on that flow, y'all. He is on that flow today.
I love this song.
All right. Welcome to the Fantasy Insiders TV daily fantasy NBA show, sponsored by DraftDay.com. Today is kind of a blah day. There are 5 games, and only 2 are early games, and the other 3 are late games, which means that there is the potential on non-late swap sites to get kind of burned tonight. Always the potential with only 2 games, and the 3 late games are all like West Coast or like East Coast versus West Coast teams, like on the road, and they're not exactly the best East Coast teams. So a 5-game slate, so you can't complain too bad. But the dynamic of the games tonight are interesting. Want to welcome our guest Dan Wahoo at Dan Wahoo and at Davis Maddock. You guys are regulars on the show. How do you feel about tonight, Dan?
I like it. I mean, the more
you like tonight.
I like it when you don't expect a lot of overlap. I think those are the best nights.
Okay, Davis.
I feel pretty meh. I don't know. The last night I played, I got rolled, so like not playing the last 2 nights wasn't even that bad, really.
I always like the easier I feel it is to put something together. I like quicker, the better I feel about the night. So that's generally how I roll.
Power forward just really sucks tonight, and I hate when power forward sucks.
However, Pat is not going to play tonight, which means that Amir is in the mix for the power forwards tonight. Dan, your thoughts on Amir tonight?
You know, Amir's not someone that's on my radar particularly tonight. That's probably because I have like 3 power forwards that I'm rotating around, and Amir's not one of them. I know Patterson's been ruled out, so Amir's still going to be fired up and probably fairly common. I don't like him particularly against Millsap. I know he's a decent defender, especially for his size, but I think Millsap will. I think he has a better advantage in that matchup. So Amir's not someone I'm looking at particularly tonight. His price is creeping up, and I think 30 is a little bit difficult on FanDuel for him to hit tonight.
Yeah, you look at the matchup that he has against Atlanta, though, in a close game. It's 3 of the 5 games are around 10-point spreads. So you have Miami at Cleveland without Kyrie, and you have Milwaukee at Portland. That's a 12.5-point spread, and you have Orlando at Golden State, and that's a 12.5-point spread. And I'm guessing that
It shouldn't be, though.
Why?
Because
You're not going to have Vooch tonight either.
Golden State is.
He went through shoot around, so I think he's a game time.
I know they say he's questionable, but I just don't think he's going to play tonight.
Well, don't say it so definitively, Dave. You get on me about definitive.
Okay,
statements.
I'm sorry. I don't. That is my basically my guess is that he does have the questionable game time decision tag, but I'm guessing that he doesn't go tonight.
Okay.
So as far as other players, you've got this whole Cleveland roster that is questionable pretty much. Kyrie not going to be playing. They thought he might be done for the season yesterday, but I think they said 2 weeks today.
I'm willing to bet he's done for the season.
Yeah, he's not gonna play.
Reevaluated in 2 weeks. He's kind of a softie. I think he's going to shut it down after he's reevaluated in 2 weeks.
So you've got all these basically shooting guard, small forwards. Well, Deldova, I guess, is a point guard. But you've got C.J. Miles, Luol Deng, and Dellavedova, who are questionable for tonight. I think Deng and Dellavedova sprained their ankles in that Clippers game. So that's potentially big news, and that's the first game of the night. So thoughts on this Cleveland-Miami game, basically, with the Cavs being potentially shorthanded. I mean, they could have all three of these guys play, or they could have all three of them not play. Dan, I'll start with you.
Yeah, and not only that, on the other side of the ball is Wade going to be playing, because I think this is a classic game where he could sit out. And
I think they said he is going to be playing tonight.
He is going to be playing tonight?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously, LeBron comes to mind back in Cleveland, and every year since he's left, it seems like Cleveland has like the game of their year against Miami. It's like their Super Bowl every season against Miami. So, especially if those guys are out, I mean, the backcourt then is Jarrett Jack and Dion Waiters. So, just by usage rates, you have to assume that they're in play. They don't have a good matchup, but you have to assume that they get huge bumps along with Alonzo G. So that's definitely news you got to monitor. And like Davis mentioned earlier, I don't know why this spread is so close, particularly with everyone questionable or out. I guess Vegas might think that they will play, but even then, the spread seems really close to me. But again, that Cleveland, they're going to be playing for all of Cleveland tonight and Ohio. So we'll see if they can keep it as close as Vegas expects.
Let's see. Dion getting the start tonight, and Jelly86 says all of Spencer Halls. Davis, you on the Spencer Halls train tonight?
No, but all of the Dion. Oh my God! Playing waiters when Kyrie was out last year was like such a great gift from the DFS gods, and now that Kyrie's out again and like all the other guards and wings are not going to play, I'm all over Kyrie. Like Dion loves to shoot. Dion loves to shoot more than I like to breathe.
Dion's getting up 20 shots minimum tonight. I'd say for under 24, 25.
Yep.
So at the shooting guard position, he is a solid play.
I think I would go so far as to say he is a must play.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like Wade or Ray Allen are good perimeter defenders anymore.
Okay.
Wade used to be.
I guess I'm just shocked that you use waiters and must play in the same sentence, but I mean that just
not on DraftStreet or DraftDay like efficiency sites, but on FanDuel and DraftKings where you don't get penalized for him going 8 for 24. Yeah, he is.
Would you say must play, Dan?
I mean it's tough not to consider him a must play on FanDuel. The thing with him, with the way that they might be rolling, they're going to be down 20 in the third quarter, and he's still going to be in the game trying to get him back in, jacking up shots. So
yep.
He might go 38 minutes and 25 shots tonight. So it's tough not to pay for that tonight.
I remember last time everybody was all in on waiters, and he thoroughly disappointed everybody.
Was CJ Miles active? This is obviously contingent on all of these wing players not playing.
Right. But, I mean, you already know that Kyrie's not playing.
I mean, I'm playing him regardless, but as far as my advice to everyone, I would say pay attention to who's going to be active for them.
Yeah, with Kyrie out, I mean, let's say he puts up 25 shots and he only scores 20 points, which would be pretty horrible, and 20 real points. Let's say he ends with 22 fantasy. That's still, I think most people would take it at that price where they can upgrade more later on, and I'd say that's a floor for him tonight, is somewhere around there.
Fair enough. I think on FanDuel he is a good player. Looking at like a site like you said, Davis, DraftStreet or DraftDay,
I would still probably take him no matter what he costs, but that's how I play.
Well, that's because that's how you roll.
I like guys who shoot. It's because they can just score in flurries, and it's way easier for a guy who shoots a lot to like skyrocket over his value than a guy who's really active, like rebounding and stuff.
Did you see what Monte did last night?
No, I don't even know what's happening in the
amazing.
NBA.
He was amazing. Monte was amazing last night.
He'll do that from time to time.
He had 25 fantasy points, I think.
Did you take him last night?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
But as far as the opposite side of the ball, I did take LeBron a few places last Friday. I took him in the draft day 100K basketball championship, and I took him on a DraftKings team. And he was like so mediocre. Like all he needed to get was
I have
just
a theory on that too.
a few more points, and he would have advanced me into the cash and into the next round of the games. Like just 3 more fantasy points, but when he puts up less than 35 fantasy points, it is disgusting. It is really disgusting. What's your theory, Davis? I want to hear this.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to get to the rim and get hit in the face. His nose is broken right now, so he's settling for mid-range jumpers, which he is below league average at.
And this is just the perfect matchup to change all that. I mean, Cleveland, Anderson Varejao is maybe playing 20 minutes, but they got no rim protection. With Dang's out, this is about as easy of a matchup as you can have. He's been having his way, always has his way with Cleveland, but this year he's averaging like 52 against them in Cleveland. LeBron's ready to put on a show, I think. And, blowout factor maybe, but everyone mentions blowout factor, but you have to assume LeBron's going to accumulate enough points to offset that blowout. So I think he's set in for, I'd set his over-under between 52, 55 fantasy points tonight for LeBron.
Oh, gosh.
So Batum for 7.8 or LeBron for, I think, 10.2?
Is he 10.2? I think he's a little higher.
Yeah. Let me pull it up. 10.5.
I go LeBron tonight, personally, but...
Okay.
I was really hoping neither of you would say anything good about LeBron.
I don't take him. I just don't. That's just sort of one of the thing. Like
don't take LeBron.
He's so very rarely like. So yeah, he had that Charlotte game where he just like obliterated his value, right? And then every game since that, he hasn't paid off his tag. He so rarely just destroys his value threshold that I don't ever see a lot of upside in taking him.
I'd say he's fairly common in paying off his salary since the All-Star break.
So we have. Let's pull up LeBron's stats. 37.75 against Houston, 34.75. That was in the game against Denver. 37 in the game against Brooklyn. Like he hasn't cracked the 40-point fantasy mark in 4 games. So the one good thing I will say about this is that might cause people to be off of him if you do have a good feeling about how he is. Now, conversely, let's take a look at Batum's stats without Aldridge in the lineup. Has just gone nuts. 59 and 56 fantasy points the past 2 games. Going up against Milwaukee, where he will have ample opportunity to rebound the ball. Now, the blowout factor is certainly a factor.
Except hasn't Miami lost like 5 of their last 7 games? Like they're not even playing well right now.
I'm talking about the Blazers.
Oh yeah, sorry, dude.
Yeah.
It was a long night.
Yeah, it's okay. 12.5 point spread there, playing in Portland against Milwaukee. Blazers don't blow people out.
I kind of agree with him actually. Like there was that Hawks game where they just like obliterated that shorthanded Hawks team. But without LaMarcus Aldridge, like Lillard's a really good scorer, but he's pretty inefficient. So it's like sort of hard for them to just destroy teams.
Ask Tuttle if the Blazers blow people out. Let's see what he says. I want to get to some of the comments that we've had in the chat before we basically get onto this. I want to basically talk more about this Portland and Milwaukee game in a second. But some of the comments before they go up and get archived. LeBron is averaging 55.5 fantasy points per game through 5 trips to Cleveland since 2010, posting 2 triple-doubles and 50-plus fantasy points in all but one contest over that span. That comment from Laufey D's article on Fantasy Insiders today. And then you have also S. Beaselton, who said that he read that Vooch was good to go. I think I mistaken. I don't even know. I think that I incorrectly read that Peck was going to be out and applied that to Vooch. Sometimes I get them mixed up. Basically, because
I do have the same first name, so
the itch. So in this article, though, it says John Denton wrote it. It's on NBA.com, and he's talking about Vooch, and he says that the Magic will be at full strength tonight and will have center Nikola Vucevic, who slightly sprained his ankle in Friday's overtime loss to Washington. So, that's on NBA.com. He didn't say anything about possibly missing tonight. So,
I would like to hear Dan's mystery power forwards that he thinks are in play, because there's not even, other than Millsap, I don't want to play any of these guys.
Let's see. Let's see. Peck is out. Yes, Peck is out. Yes. Thanks, Papa Cup. Amir or Tristan Thompson. Davis, you said Amir. Dan, give us one of your three. We know you're playing pretty heavily on FanDuel tonight. Give us one of the three guys that you are thinking about taking tonight.
David Lee.
Oh, gosh. Oh.
Really?
Yeah. If you watch the Portland game, he was taken out because Darrell Wright was burning him in the corner outside threes. So Mark Jackson, like he's been doing with a majority of his starting five, made a defensive substitution, and he didn't play much. He put up a good fantasy points when he was in, but it was not a good matchup for him. He took him out. I don't expect that to continue. He's a big part of what they do, and 7,400. I think I'd consider him a lock for around 30 to 32 fantasy, and it's an easy matchup against Orlando.
So here's the problem with David Lee. 21, 23, 33, 19, 37, 28, 38, 18. Before that, 22 and 23 fantasy points. So you look over the past month, and he hasn't exactly been the perfect picture of consistency. You do have Mark Jackson that did say that he took him out because of his defensive lapses. So I understand, you think that he's going to bounce back tonight against Orlando. It is a good matchup for him. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that there is an element of him possibly not getting the minutes tonight, especially when the blowout looms. But Davis, you don't think the blowout is going to happen? I think David Lee would be more of a GPP than a cash game play for me, but that all depends on where his price is.
I'd rather take Amir.
I think David Lee was probably, with the exception of the last 6 to 8 games, he had a rough start of the season, but for the middle part of the season, he was the most consistent player in the NBA. He was, I know for a fact, he was averaging on a consistent basis without too much deviation, 34, 33 fantasy points. And, Golden State's hit a rough patch. They were losing some games. They weren't playing good defense. Jackson got pissed off with the team. Curry wasn't getting minutes and all that. That's not a consistent way that they're going to play basketball. They need to win games. Orlando doesn't have that kind of stretch four that's going to put them out, and Lee's going to be lost in Wonderland in the lane. They're going to roll right now. They're starting O'Quinn, so they're going big anyways, and they're going to bring Tobias off at the 3-4. So I just don't see how, I guess if a blowout happens, then perhaps everyone plays less, but I still think he's in a good spot tonight as he's been all season with a depressed, I think it's the lowest price he's been all season. 7,400.
It might be, but let me take a look. The reason why I say he's not it's not pulling up.
His minutes have been skewed for a while anyways, for lots of reasons. They're undeniably a better team with him off the floor. Every statistic and every analyst will tell you that they're definitively better when he's not on the floor with them.
He's one of the NBA's worst defenders. That's in analytics, that's the number one thing is he's one of the worst defenders, but he does do a lot of good things for them on offense as well.
And he's great for fantasy because he prides himself on getting double doubles. Like he's literally said that to the media. He's like, I'm a 20 and 10 guy. That's what I do in this league. Like blah blah. So like, yeah, I in general I don't mind taking him, but when he's not getting the minutes, I would much rather take Amir Johnson for that lower price tag.
I just have noticed that since the All-Star break, his minutes have been down and his average fantasy points has been down. So that's why I would say that he's not a lock. That being said, I've played him a lot since the All-Star break. So I feel like he does have like the upside, but in that game he hasn't cracked since the All-Star break he hasn't cracked the 40 fantasy point mark once.
He's always one of those guys that I end up putting in like my rough draft lineups and being like, oh yeah, like this is gonna be a great play, and then like as the day goes on, I'm like, no, like I can't pay this price tag for David Lee. So I don't think I have played him. I've maybe played him like 2 or 3 times all year.
Fair enough. So basically, what we're saying is
that Dan and I don't agree,
Even
and everyone's so
start.
surprised.
That was a preemptive shh. Just know I have a whole bag of shh with your name on it.
Yep. That was Dr. Evil, for those of you that do not know that. Tobias. People want to know about Tobias in this game. Coming off the bench, but he has had a solid. Well, I think he's been more consistent than David Lee. But if you had the choice of picking between D. Lee or Tobias, I'm guessing you'd go D. Lee, Dan. But Davis, would you go Tobias?
Yeah, probably I would. I'm not really looking at either one of them. Like power forward's gross tonight. I think I'll probably roll out Millsap and Amir Johnson against each other most spots.
So looking at Tobias's basically since that Philly game, 44, 22, 39, 19, 26, and 30. So averaging probably around the 30 mark. The thing with him is that usually he's not around that 30 mark. He's either around the 40 mark or the 20 fantasy point mark. Like his production is very volatile as well.
Because he's coming off the bench. He has to get hot. Basically.
Yeah, what I do like though about him is that when he's not in foul trouble, he's going to get around 30, 32 fantasy points a game, and he does have that upside. And on a site like DraftKings and DraftDay, you can play him at the small forward position. I hate playing Tobias on FanDuel at the power forward position. Like usually when I play him, it'll be at the small forward position or on DraftStreet at the just the plain forward position. So I would say in FanDuel, probably not, but on other sites where his price is like 10% of the cap, I don't mind taking Tobias. Dan, we know that you're higher on Lee than Tobias, but would you roll out Tobias tonight?
Not really. It's not somebody I'd be targeting against Golden State.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I really wish you wouldn't have said that. We need to all come to an agreement on one player. Maybe we did on waiters. Like I'm not sure I'm quite there to must play, but
Robin Lopez.
If he stays out of foul trouble,
what are they gonna do? Play Myers Leonard?
Well, when he gets 2 fouls in the first 4 minutes, like he did the other night, then he's going to sit out until the last rotation basically comes in the second quarter.
Hey, well, he outscored Enes Kanter, so.
Dan, Robin Lopez, yes or no?
Yes.
There you go.
It's not rapid fire. Do I get an explanation or?
Yeah, no. I mean, we're not in the lightning round yet.
Okay, no, I like Robin Lopez. He's probably one of my top centers tonight. Obviously, without LaMarcus, not only Batum, but Lopez gets a huge bump. He's got a great matchup at home against Milwaukee. Fairly priced. I don't think it's gone up much, if at all. So definitely like Lopez tonight.
Yeah, I've been rostering Lopez pretty much since whenever LaMarcus goes down, I've been rostering him. You look at his price tag. Like, he's run the same price tag as Tobias. Like, if I had to choose between Tobias or Lopez for a team, I would choose Lopez for sure. 34-27. He did have those 2 games, but you have to look there at San Antonio and at Memphis, where he had under 15 fantasy points. So a good matchup tonight. And as long as he can stay out of foul trouble, that's always an issue with him, dating back since even last year with the Pelicans.
But who even draws fouls for the Bucks? They're just such a depressing basketball team.
You've got Zaza, Urson, Henson. I mean, these guys are big-time post players, Davis.
Yeah, I mean, Henson has that lefty hook that's like really dirty. And
Henson doesn't have
else,
any moves, or no, he's got one move. He's got one move. Yes, that left hook.
That's what I just said. He has the lefty hook, and then everyone else on that offense is so bad at everything they do.
Which means that blowouts might come.
I got Brandon Knight on my FanDuel team.
So I'll say Brandon Knight does have the capability of going off sometimes. As far as the positions go, Dan, what is your favorite position like for value tonight?
For value?
Yeah, or just like options.
I'd probably say power forward. You got to. I don't know what consider value, but you got Amir, you got Gooden, you got. I don't know if they're confirmed yet. Derek Williams started last game and he went nuts. So you got 3 guys right there under 6K who could potentially be paying off their tag. And for the rest of the board, I'm a fan of taking guys that I know are going to be in position to get the minutes to produce. And, a lot of people try to take waivers on guys that
have the potential.
Are inconsistent by nature. Like Jeff Green yesterday. I don't know if that was just because it was Green Day or what, but people ask to get in trouble. And it's like, when you take Brandon Knight, unless Walters is out all these guys are out, Brandon Knight might play 26 minutes and cool, if he scores 30 fantasy, that's what he's capping at. So I like Jarrett Jack as a value play tonight. He's forced into big minutes. But I think power forward of all 5 positions.
I would rather pay 7.6 for Knight than I would pay 5.2 for Jack. Even
Jack's 4.4.
I would rather pay for Knight. Jared Jack sucks so bad. He's not like Waiters.
No, he just hasn't been hitting his shot this season. Like, his shooting percentage.
If he goes 8, 6, and 6 with 2 steals and 2 turnovers, I think that's a fair price for
Jared
40.
Jack mixing it up for 6 rebounds, Dan.
Well, when we
is
take
that
a look
happening? I don't know. I hate Jared Jack. He's probably so good, and he probably meets value all the time.
Oh.
So you're describing like a fantasy losing mentality. Like, I don't like him, so I'm not going to play him. It doesn't make any sense. He's averaging in this year alone, and I'm not even going to look at I don't even think he started earlier against Cleveland. 11, 5, 5, and 1.5 BS. So
let me read you his minutes and then the fantasy points of his last 10 games. 35 minutes, 15 fantasy points. 28 minutes, 19 fantasy points. 34 minutes, 20. 39, 19. 27 and 20. 21 and 8.
And here's like one of the next most commonly missed factor in daily fantasy. The pass is not. It's an indicator of the future. It's not a fact for the future. Kyrie Irving is out. He by far has the highest usage rate. Jarrett Jack's usage rate is going to go up a lot. Same with Dion Waiters.
No, I agree. I agree, but I don't. I just think that taking Jarrett Jack is a low ceiling move. I agree with you that it is a high floor move for that cost, but I like to. If I'm gonna take a guy who's cheap, I want him to be like someone who's like a high fantasy point per minute guy, and then getting put into more minutes. Like
you want to pay min price and get 40 points guaranteed, right?
Well, obviously, but no, I'm saying something like Darrell Wright, someone who does put up like solid fantasy points per minute in the minutes that they do get, and then when they're going into an expanded role, that just extends. But Jarrett Jack is not a skilled player. You know what I'm saying? No. So I understand that his usage rate will be higher. It's just I feel like taking Brandon Knight is a more intelligent move tonight than taking Jack, especially against the Miami defense that attacks point guards so heavily.
Um,
I'm cheating research pieces, so I don't know. I don't know.
I don't mind Jarrett Jack. The one thing about Jack is that he's got to be hitting his shots. Like, that is his shooting percentage this year has been way down compared to past. Like, he's just in a slump. Like, if he is even near decent shooting percentages tonight, he'll meet value then plus some. Like,
Hey, Davis, Jack's played Miami twice, and he has 5 rebounds in each game.
Oh, boom!
There you go.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Dang! Gauntlet drop.
So he's averaging 11, 5, and 5.
You lose. Good day, sir.
With how many turnovers though?
I think 3.
So that's not value for 4.4, is it?
What is it? 11. Yeah, 11, 5, and 5.
Minus 6 or minus 4.5.
Plus blocks and steals, so 11, 5, and 5.
Oh, Jarrett Jack's out here blocking shots now.
He
He probably has a bunch against Miami because that's how this conversation is going. Everything I'm saying is wrong.
He's averaging half a block a game, which would be 1 total, and 1 steal.
All right, that negates it. Jarrett Jack's a fine play. He won't be on any of my teams.
The thing with, and I will give a point to Wahoo on the Jarrett Jack conversation. The thing about Jack though tonight is that, Dan, I would say that the best place for value tonight is going to be the point guard spot, or not value, but just the number of plays. And so, like when you're basically when you're trapped into playing only 2 point guards, that's where the decision for me tonight is going to be. Do I want to play Jack and Lillard, or Jack and Thomas, or even like Jack and another cheap point guard, or do I want to go Lillard and Isaiah Thomas? Like, and John Wall. I mean, John Wall is another interesting option too, going up against the Kings. That's why I think that point guard is the place where I don't think that Jack is a must play because of the other options at point guard, but I do think that he is a value play tonight. Like, I do think he's like, if you really like two other positions and you're looking for that value at the point guard, then you can go cheap with Jack and still feel good about it. Like, without fade. Like, I don't think tonight is a night where there is like a must play at point guard.
I'll put this out there: if CJ, Della, and CJ and Della are out, I would consider Jack and Waiters must plays. I don't care if they're playing Miami or Davis's sister; they're going to be must plays. They're playing 38 minutes a game.
That's
They're
fair.
playing 38 minutes minimum, and the only other guard on their rotation who isn't on their rotation is some Russian guy, Sergey, who's played like 5 minutes the entire season. So
I think it's Sergey.
yeah, they're locked in for big minutes, especially if those guys are out.
Davis, does your sister play professional basketball?
I mean,
Do you have
I
a
haven't,
sister?
I haven't talked to either of my sisters in a while, but I don't think
Great.
that they
Great.
basketball.
Way to open up that wound, Dan. All right, let's get off the...
It's not a wound. I'm just a shitty older brother.
Let's get off the insults before this thing goes way over the top. I saw, and it really scared the crap out of me. I saw on the, and I haven't even read the article yet, but on Roto Experts on the daily fantasy rundown that our co-hosts Drew Dinkmeyer and Mike Leone write. I'm pretty sure I saw DeMar DeRozan on that list. I'm trying to get back to it. For some reason.
I like DeMar tonight a lot too.
I like him as well. I like DeMar every night.
Okay, it hasn't even been a week yet since Damari let me down. But Davis,
Nice.
stop. I'm just not sure I can go back to that well yet.
Well,
Of all opponents in the Eastern Conference, I mean, I'd say the Hawks are probably in the favor for DeMar on the top of that list. I love him tonight, especially at his price. I mean, it's the lowest we've seen in a while, too.
Yeah, because he's gone 35, 17, 35, 17 again in his last 4 games.
Oh gosh.
Great. So I'll buy low.
Yes.
Yep. That's like daily fantasy 101 is taking really good players like after a cold stretch.
All right, so he's like 7.7 there on FanDuel. So you're talking about 36 fantasy points. Do you think he gets that tonight?
I do.
I do. He's in my lineup right now.
Oh gosh. Well, I guess if you're playing Jack and you're playing waiters, then you want to spend that shooting guard position. And DeRozan would make sense. The other thing
what other shooting guard options are there?
I mean, that's the thing. You've got a Flalo at maybe 6K, but that's like, I don't really like him.
I'd strongly consider Beal tonight.
Beal or Wesley Matthews?
No brainer, Beal for me.
Yeah, that game will be a little bit closer, probably. Well, maybe it won't be actually. Both those teams are pretty bad. Both the opponents.
It's the time of the season you got to start taking into account what teams are playing for, who's playing, and how long they're going to be in the game. I mean, Washington's a 5 seed. They're fighting to stay that 5 seed or move up. They're going to be playing their starters big minutes. Milwaukee, I mean, who knows what they're playing for besides lottery balls all season. So
yeah, but you also talk about game situation analysis, and you have to take in player analysis, where Brad Beal stubs a toe, and you think that toe has been amputated from his reaction.
I thought his career's been over like 3 times this season. Like, for real. Like,
he is the biggest drama queen on the court.
His toe will be super against Macklemore, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It is true that he's going up against a terrible defense.
So bad.
Let's talk about this game. DeMarcus Cousins will be playing tonight. Dan, you always talk about what's going on inside of a player's head, and tonight you've got DeMarcus Cousins going up against John Wall, his old Kentucky teammate. Let's play this game. I wish I had theme music behind me, but what's going on inside DeMarcus's head tonight?
We should have a separate show just for this, I guess. But I think I remember watching this game in Washington earlier this season, and I'm pretty sure Cousins was horrible that game. I don't know if it was foul trouble or Calipari was on the near courtside watching the game, so maybe he was just a little flustered. But Cousins is so tough.
Maybe the Euro's getting his head.
Maybe. I mean, who knows what it is? Last, I guess, DMP was it his knee or his ankle? What was it?
Yeah, knee tendonitis.
Knee tendonitis. So, I mean, and he's supposed to be in, so I'll take their word for it, but I have other options I like for cheaper that get me guys that I like for more near price to Cousins tonight, so he's not somebody I'm targeting too much tonight.
Yeah.
But usually those are the nights when you're like, Cousins.
That's when he gets
for 60.
Yeah, 50 or 55. He is a high upside play, but I think that we're both on the Rolo train, or we're all three on the Rolo train tonight as someone who is almost half the price or a third cheaper. Yeah, about a third cheaper, a little more, than DeMarcus, and is capable of basically producing the same sort of game. Like, if you take a look and you want DeMarcus to have 42 fantasy points or Rolo to do 29 fantasy points, I think you would probably give the nod to Rolo. Now, as far as the guy with the upside, it's DeMarcus Cousins. Like you said, Dan, the nights where you don't take him sometimes are the nights where he just goes off. So I do think he's a decent GPP play tonight.
I just saw an update on Twitter. Nick Young's about to start practicing this weekend, so we got something to look forward to.
Yes, we do.
Thank the basketball gods for that.
Oh,
I'm so excited. You guys don't even know I love watching Nick Young play basketball.
I'm not even going to go into the question of why. I'm just going to move on. S. Beagleton says, Drew Gooden as a punt play. I mean, is he still minimum salary places? Like, would you rather take
He is on FanDuel.
Would you take Drew Gooden or like Darrell Wright tonight?
Right. Wright's locked in for me. As long as they keep him that small at that low at small forward.
Dan?
See, I have small forwards I like, and when I like players, I don't like to give them up for Darrell Wright. So I'd take Drew Gooden over Darrell Wright. And the sign usually is if a coach is fond of a player, newly added player, and they sign him for the season at this point right now, they want him in the rotation. And Trevor Booker, since he started, hasn't been playing more than 24-ish minutes per game. So I think they like him in his spot. And for Min Price against Sacramento, I think he's definitely worth considering over Wright.
All right. So this is interesting, though, Dan, because you just said that you thought power forward was the most had the most options. Value. You said that power forward had the most options, but then your
most value options, right?
Okay, most value. I was just talking about just the position itself, like the most options. And I would say it's probably the thinnest tonight. So if you did feel good, like about LeBron, Batum, Ariza, another guy tonight, Rudy Gay even could go off after a terrible game on Sunday. But there are tonight. Small forward is a position that has a lot of options. Even D right, if you want to go cheap. Like it all depends on where you place your value tonight. Like I don't think that going Darrell Wright at small forward is a bad option for Davis, but I don't think, like you said, if you really like two small forwards, that's going to be wrong either. Like that's why, Dan, I would agree with you that tonight there's not going to be as much overlap for a 5-game slate as there normally is.
There is. Yeah. I'll say this: there's more opportunity cost in taking a punt small forward than there normally is. I'll agree with that.
Okay. Yeah. So you're in agreement with this?
Yeah. Yes. Oh. But also, I just really like Darrell Wright, and I think he puts up lots of. I think he is a good fantasy option when he's in the starting lineup. And I don't know. Do you think he'll play in the garbage time rotation if this is a blowout?
Which guy?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No, probably not. They'll go with Thomas Robinson.
Well, but Wright plays 3 positions for them.
Yeah, but
and with Mo Williams out, McCollum has to play the point, would they run Watson and McCollum out at the same time?
Why wouldn't they though in blowout minutes?
Okay, so then who are their other wings?
Barton.
Okay.
Thomas Robinson.
He won't. Yeah, he won't. Barton will play. He'll play the wing minutes.
And I don't know what it's been lately, but Barton's been getting meaningful minutes out of nowhere. So, I don't know what that's for, but that would concern me a little bit about Wright.
Oh man, Chop has become Davis's favorite troll.
Dude, he does. He comes after me, bro.
Oh man,
I don't mind it.
We have about 15 minutes left. I want to talk about our sponsor, DraftDay. Tonight they have basically the round 4 of the 100K NBA championship, and you know who's in all 4 games? This guy Rad Thad has just been on an unbelievable heater. Won $100,000 on Friday, and is just kind of taking over these tournaments. He is in each of the 4 matchups on Draft Day going into tonight. So he is playing Hoops 2410, which is a pretty reputable guy. He's a fairly high stakes player. Matness, who again is the same way. Napsterman, and then Matness again. So Matness also has 2 entries, but it is possible that with a good lineup tonight, Rathad could be playing himself in the Final 4. Just Rathad versus Rathad. It's pretty dominating stuff. So shout out to Mr. Rathad for basically just dominating this past week. I mean, that's the only thing you can call it. Is just pure domination.
I'm so salty about that bracket.
What's that?
I'm so salty about that bracket. I was 4 places out of the money. God. And it was Batum that did it to me.
See, I had Batum. It was LeBron. Well, and it was Thomas Robinson on Friday. Thomas Robinson just screwed me. That's why Thomas Robinson is not like. Whenever LaMarcus was out the first time, everybody was in love with T-Rob, and he had that one monster game. But he just has a lot of minutes risk. Also, people talking about in the chat, Davis, that Mo Williams is not out tonight.
Oh.
So there is minutes risk with Darrell Wright at the 3 spot.
Is Mo Williams going to play the 3, you guys? We just agreed.
Wes
Dan
Matthews,
and
I think.
We just agreed he's not going to play garbage time, so he's going to play like 25 minutes, which is fine for 38.
Okay. All right. Round Davis. Ooh.
I am so tired. I am so tired, you guys.
Man, Mr. Cranky Pants coming out.
I'm a little cranky.
Oh, don't say. If you have any questions for us, feel free to ask us in the chat, and we will do a little lightning round. Let's get to the pick 5 though, or the rapid fire right now on draft day. If you go to games, then go down to rapid fire, you will see this lovely matchup that includes Jarrett Jack. But the first matchup, John Wall versus Steph Curry.
Wall.
Dan?
See, this is the one in my FanDuel lineup. This is like the one decision I've been leaning like on the fence on all day. I started with Wall. I think I'm going to end up with Wall.
Yeah, me too.
I started with Curry and then moved off of him.
Nicholas Batum versus DeMar DeRozan. This one's an interesting one.
Batum.
DeMar.
Ooh. So I will be the tiebreaker and say Batum. I think, especially on an efficiency site like DraftDay, DeMar is perfectly capable of going 4 for 14 and getting like a handful of rebounds, and the way the rebounds that Batum is pulling in.
Let's not forget that Batum doesn't have to career high in rebounds every consecutive game too.
Well, I mean, he is like a lock now for double-digit rebounds. It's pretty amazing. And especially,
why did he not become the world's greatest rebounder until now?
I watch these games, and sometimes the ball just kind of bounces his way, but he is like staying down there. He's not like releasing like he used to. I mean, there is a concerted effort for him to rebound. So some of it might be just lucky bounces, but I mean, even without lucky bounces, you take tonight. I mean, he's a lock for 10 rebounds. He's a lock for double-double.
Oh, well, you know what that means. He's going to get 8.
No, it means he'll get 12, but 10 at least. Ariza versus Rolo.
I'm going to let Dan answer that one first.
I'll go Ariza.
Yeah, I mean, probably just because of the 3-point bonus, I'll take Ariza too.
Yeah, this one's a close one though, but I will go Ariza as well. Ariza is going to be heavily owned tonight, I feel like. Amir versus Dion Waiters. This is a good one.
Oh, Dion. Easy.
Dion.
I don't think it's easy. I don't think it's easy, but I do think it's...
Amir, I'm a little worried about Amir maybe getting in foul trouble.
Oh, Pero?
Trillsap, dude.
Oh, whatever. Trillsap. I mean, I think Amir he has high upside tonight. The Dion Waiters call would be, for me, like I'm just going to assume that either Dang or Dellavedova or Miles are going to be out, and there's going to be opportunity for him. Like, if all three of those guys play, it's Amir Johnson. But let's just assume that at least one of those guys is going to be out. We'll choose Waiters. Chris Middleton or Jarrett Jack?
Jarrett Jack.
Jack.
That was an easy
Yeah,
one.
it better be.
All right. Well, that is the rapid fire from Draft Day. Make sure you're getting over there and playing that. They also have the golf championship coming up. I think it's the Yellow Jacket, maybe. Maybe Scott can confirm there in the chat. But golf is just becoming huge in daily fantasy. Who would have thought? I've told the story numerous times on Twitter, but for those that maybe not heard it, I got my buddy who is a golf guy to start playing the PGA events, and then all of a sudden he starts wanting to play everything, even college basketball on Saturdays. And on Friday he was second out of 4,400 lineups on DraftKings in the mega crossover, and it was a lineup that I would have never played. Had freaking Calathis in it. And Thad Young, but it went off.
That's how that goes, though.
Yeah, it went off. But now he's hooked, and so it's like PGA might be the gateway event into daily fantasy sports. All right.
No, football will always be the gateway.
But see, PGA might. Okay, you're right. Football.
Get old guys.
Okay. Let's see. Lightning round, you know the rules, only 3-word answers. I'll start with you, Davis. Curry. This is a three option combo. Curry and Ross, Wall or Waiters, or Thomas and Waiters.
Wall waiters.
I don't know. It would just, obviously Wall and Isaiah are not the same price. It would just depend on Wall, Waiters, Isaiah, or Waiters. Is Mo a decent play? That coming from Jordan. We'll start with you, Dan.
I don't even know how much Mo is.
Okay, well then we'll say nah. Anyone like Lowry to hit value tonight? Both of you, yay or nay?
Dan.
No.
I'll say
This isn't the sort of matchup that he normally gets it done in.
yeah, but I mean, I'll still say that he's capable of hitting value. I'm not sure he will, but he's capable.
Well, yeah, he's very good.
Very good. Let's see. Does Scott's man crush on Wahoo make anyone else uncomfortable? That coming from Mr. Davis Maddock. Dan, Millsap and Joval versus D. Lee and Lopez.
I take D. Lee and Lopez.
Yeah, I don't even like D. Lee, but I'd much prefer that. Why would you want to play Jonas Valanciunas right now?
Bill Ariza or Klay Thompson, Davis?
Ariza.
Let's see. Tobias or Ariza? I will go. Well, I'm not even going to answer that. I'll let Dan answer that.
Ariza, no doubt.
Ooh, gave me the no doubt. Lillard, Jack, or IT2 and Waiters, Davis?
IT2 waiters. So surprising.
Dan, that's it. I mean, that's an interesting one. I mean,
I think I answered that in the chat. IT2 waiters.
All 4 of those guys though are in play tonight.
We didn't talk about Isaiah very much, but
no, we haven't even talked about really Isaiah or Rudy Gay. We just mentioned them as potential options. But I do like Isaiah tonight.
Play Rudy when Cousins is out or Isaiah's out.
Yeah, well, you saw what Rudy did when Cousins was out on Sunday.
Well, that happens sometimes, but percentage play, bro.
Normally you play Rudy when he has a good matchup. That's when you play Rudy. Let's see. Ariza, Wall, or Lillard, Gay?
Ariza, Wall.
Ariza, Wall.
Yeah, I think that would be definitely the side that you would want to go. Brandon Knight, question mark for cash games. Davis, you say yay. Dan, you say...
Well, hold on. I don't say yay. He's in my lineup.
You gave the thumbs up. That means yay. Yay is another word for yes.
Just understand what you're doing if you do that.
What are you doing? Do you understand?
Yeah.
This is yay. This is May.
I do understand. This is my team.
This is May.
I have Knight, Lillard, DeRozan, Waiters, Ariza, Batum, Gooden, Millsap, Lopez. I think is what I have.
Let's see. How many is too many for a Portland stack? I will say 5 is too many. 4 is okay.
I agree. 5 is too many because you can't do it.
And on FanDuel, I don't think you can even play 5.
You cannot.
Let's see. Fade LeBron, question mark. I say may be. Dan, you say...
For who? Sorry.
Fade LeBron, question mark.
I say don't.
You say nay. Davis, you say
Don't play LeBron.
You say-
like 80%
Don't
of the
fade
time.
him, is what I say.
so. You say yay. Okay.
So play him if it works out, but don't like target him.
Yeah, I think tonight's a night where you can work him into your lineup fairly easily.
All right.
His tag's low.
Mo Williams or Chalmers? I will go with Mo Williams on that. Curry for GPP. I will also say yes on that. So, good stuff. As far as the positions go, I don't know. Point guard's going to be awful tough, man. FanDuel, you've got John Wall 8,600, Thomas 8,200, Lillard at 7,700. All three of those guys are in play. In addition to the pump play you mentioned with Jarrett Jack, and Davis, you talked about Brandon Knight being in your lineup. Like, point guard is all over the place. If you just had to go with top two producers tonight, not value plays, but top two producers at the point guard spot, would it be Wall and IT2 or Wall and Lillard? That would be my question.
I'd say Wall and IT too.
Davis, what did you say?
Wall and Lillard. I'm sorry, guys. I'm never gonna do a show when I'm this tired ever again. I got home. I literally walked in the front door. I sent Dave a message and said, "You guys got room for one more?" And I was like, "I should be asleep right now."
Oh man, but this is how it goes tonight. Like, all your sleepy picks will be the one that goes off, and energetic Dan, who's already got 2 workouts in today, all of his picks
Dude,
will
Dan,
be
do
wrong.
people know how ridiculous Dan is?
I don't think so. Dan, I don't mean this in any sort of sexual way, but can you take off your shirt?
I don't need Condia shirts running around all town.
No. We need Dan Wahoo Condia style picks.
No.
Oh man! Oh, as if Davis's day could not get any worse. Cam Newton to have ankle surgery, 4-month recovery. Wow.
It's whatever, man. He was a lost cause anyways.
Okay, well, I will refrain.
Cam Newton.
I will refrain from making any anti-Cam statements for fear of how they will be distorted by Davis. And we will just go ahead and end the show. But guys, if anything, it was an entertaining show.
That's good.
I mean, it was a fun show, and that is why we're here. And Davis, I know you're mad, but
I'm not mad.
I think we know why.
Just
Why
sleepy.
James crying? 'Cause he just got dunked on. I ain't even lying. Yo, he just got dunked on. Yep, he was standing there.
Oh man, that's our famous dunked on. We do also have the Swag Dome happening tonight, and we might, if I can find some people to draft, we might have an elite drafting show at 8 Eastern time, because there are those 3 late games. So it's all dependent, but be looking out on Twitter, because we will have some prizes to give away during that if we do that. If not, we will probably do it on Thursday. Good stuff, guys. Appreciate you hanging out and being on the show, even when you're tired. It's appreciated.
Thanks, David.
Louder.
Yeah.
No, thank you. Man, this comb over is looking nice.
What you need? I got what you need. What you need? What you need? What you need? I got what you need. LOLO.